In this video, we'll take you through the setup of your new Venu 2 or Venu 2S smartwatch and introduce you to some features you're going to love. First, download the Garmin Connect app to your compatible smartphone. Turn on the watch by pressing the top button. When the watch powers on, open the Garmin Connect app and follow the instructions on your phone screen to set up your account and watch. If you already have a Garmin Connect account, select Garmin Devices from the main menu. Then, add device at the bottom. The app will automatically search for and connect to your Venu 2 or 2S. Then, you can follow the on-screen instructions to complete the setup. During this process, you'll be able to set your goals and more. Once you're done with initial setup, you can tailor your experience by customizing glance and app lists, setting up Garmin Pay, adjusting hydration goals, enabling pulse ox for sleep tracking, and more. Now let's talk about using your smartwatch. To wake up the display, you can either double tap the touchscreen or lift your wrist and rotate it towards your body. When the watch face is displayed, you can swipe up or down to scroll through glances that show your stats for the day, health data, calendar, and more. You can change these glances or add more right on the watch. Press and hold the bottom button to bring up the main menu. Here, you can change your watch face, open your alarms, stopwatch, and timer, and access watch settings. From settings, you can customize your glances, set up music, turn on battery saver mode, and more. This is also where you'll configure health and fitness features such as setting abnormal heart rate alerts and turning on pulse ox. From any screen, press and hold the top button for 2 seconds to view the controls menu where you can access quick functions such as music, Find My Phone, and Garmin Pay, as well as see your remaining battery. Press the bottom button or simply swipe from left to right to go back to the previous screen. From the watch face, you can also swipe from left to right to set up a shortcut. Next, we'll walk you through how to start an activity. You can customize the activities available on your watch in the Garmin Connect app or on your watch. First, press the top button to access the apps and activities list. Tap individual activities to select them. Then, press the top button to add them to your favorites list. To edit and add more activities, press and hold the bottom button, then select Manage Apps. Tap an activity to reorder it, remove it, or add it to your favorites. Swipe through the options and select the activity you want to start. If the activity requires GPS, go outside and wait until a signal is acquired. Press the top button again to start the activity timer and begin recording data. Depending on the activity, you can use the bottom button for different functions such as marking a lap or moving on to the next set. While you work out, swipe left to right to return to your watch face and view glances. Simply press the bottom button to get back to the activity screen. When you're finished, press the top button to stop the timer. You'll see a recap of your activity data and the option to resume your activity. You can also choose to either save the activity or discard it. Once saved, the activity will be synced to the Garmin Connect app for you to view in detail. Now let's take a look at how you can add music to your watch for phone-free listening wherever you go. To connect to a third-party provider, hold down the bottom button and select the settings icon. Followed by Music, and then Music Providers. Select your preferred music provider and then follow the instructions to sync your music. If your favorite music provider isn't among those pre-installed, check the Connect IQ Store app on your smartphone to see if your preferred option is available. If it is, download the app to your Venu 2. Hold down the bottom button and select the settings icon, followed by Music and then Music Providers to finish setting up the app for the music provider you chose. You can also download content from your own digital music collection to your watch. Start by installing the Garmin Express application on your computer. Then, connect your watch to the computer using the included USB cable. Open Garmin Express. Select your device, then select Music to begin transferring the songs and albums you want. Then, all that's left to do is pair your headphones. Just bring the headphones within range of your device and enable pairing mode on them. On your watch, hold down the bottom button. Select the settings icon, followed by Music, Headphones, and Add New. Select your headphones to complete the pairing process. Now you're ready to get out there and get moving. Thanks for watching.
Different sizes. There is the 45mm Garmin Venu 2 and the 40mm Garmin Venu 2S, which is the one I've been wearing. They're pretty much identical apart from the difference in size and of course the strap sizes, but they both cost the same amount, $400 US, which does put it squarely in the same ballpark as other smartwatches such as the Apple Watch Series 6 and even the Samsung Galaxy Watch 3. Now I think this is a great looking smartwatch. The AMOLED touchscreen is nice and bright and it really excels when you are doing a workout because of the black levels, which are really deep, and the contrast is great so you can really see all your stats and metrics as you're working out. Now I also think the screen itself is pretty easy to see in bright daylight. When you have the maximum brightness turned on, there is also an ambient light sensor as well. And overall, the responsiveness of the touchscreen is good. It's not as strong as something like the Apple Watch or the Galaxy Watch, but it is an improvement over the original Venu. I also really like this design. I love a circular watch face, and the design itself is super comfortable to wear all day and all night. You'll definitely be wearing it at night because it does do sleep tracking as well, and the battery lasts a very long time, which we will talk about in a little bit. Now there are two side buttons that you can use to not only start and stop your workouts, but also access some of the main menus and features. And to see your daily workout metrics and overall health metrics, say like your steps and your resting heart rate, for example, plus your notifications, you can swipe up and down from the screen. Now, I don't think the layout of the menus and particularly the health metrics are as clean as I would like. And just by that, I mean that previous Garmin watches have just been a little more simple on the iconography and text. This watch seems like there is just a lot going on the screen, and I think maybe it's a little redundant to have both the symbol and the description of what the category is. It would just be a little cleaner, I think, overall if it was just a symbol, but that's just my personal preference. Now, one of the big reasons you're looking at buying a Garmin is for the health and fitness features, and you will not be disappointed with the offerings here. Now, this watch has over 25 different activity types to choose from to track your workouts on top of your standard running, walking, cycling, and so on. There are now a few new additions that the original Venu did not have. Those include profiles like hiking, indoor climbing, bouldering, and there are also some HIIT profiles with specific timers around things like AMRAP or as many rounds as possible. The strength workouts also now show you what muscle groups should be being worked during a particular exercise, as well as animations to show you how to perform a move. I think those are great for strength training noobs like me, just because I then know what muscles I should be targeting and also potentially what should be sore the next day to indicate that I did it properly. But one of the biggest strengths of the Garmin watches for me during a workout is just how easy it is to customize those screens so you can really put the stats and the metrics that you want front and center, so you don't need to be scrolling through different pages. If you know you only just want to see your heart rate, for example, and something else like your pace or distance on the screen, you can customize it. I had no trouble with the GPS accuracy. I found that it locked onto a signal within 5 to 10 seconds of being outside. And when I checked it after the fact, I had no issues and it was recording as expected. As for heart rate accuracy, I did test against a chest strap, which is the gold standard, and for both resting heart rate and for a low cardio workout, such as a walk, it was recording pretty accurately, and I did find that the average heart rate at the end of my workout was pretty much the same. Like other Garmin smartwatches, you get the body battery, which gives you an indication of whether or not perhaps you should push yourself a little harder today and go on that run, or you should take a rest day and just take it easy. And I found that that was a really nice way to visually give me an idea of if I should push myself or not. And I felt that it did correlate pretty well with how I was feeling in my body as well. There is also now a health snapshot feature that takes a 2-minute reading from your wrist, and that takes into account things like stress and your resting heart rate, and then you can generate a report and perhaps share it with your doctor as well. Now, in terms of other features, in terms of heart rate, you get high and low heart rate alerts, but if you are looking for things like an ECG or an electrocardiogram, this is not your watch because there is no ECG on board, and it is important to mention that this is not a medical device. This is only to give you an idea of what might be going on inside your body. There is also blood oxygen or pulse ox readings on this watch, and you can do it in a couple of different ways, either a spot reading during the day as you want on demand, during night as you sleep, and also constantly monitoring throughout the day. Although if you do those last two options, you will expect a drop in battery life. Garmin has always had a really good sleep tracking algorithm, and the Venu 2 is now adding to that with a sleep score. This is something similar to what Fitbit offers. It essentially gives you a score out of 100 in the morning after you wake up to show you how well you slept. I personally just prefer having the stages of my sleep well documented, which this does well, but the sleep score might be valuable for you. The Venu 2 can also calculate your fitness age, so it takes into account things like your vigorous activity levels, your body mass index or body fat percentage if you've weighed against a scale, as well as your resting heart rate, and it lets you know how you compare to your actual age, and it gives you some actionable items to take if you want to help reduce that. It's said that I could take off 3.5 years from my fitness age, so I will report back if I take those steps and somehow manage to reverse time. There's also menstrual cycle tracking and pregnancy tracking, and I really like the way overall that Garmin displays all of your health and wellness metrics within the Garmin Connect app. It's nicely laid out, and it's also really easy to interpret and see what all of these data points mean, because there is a lot of data from this watch. Let's talk about some of the smart features on board. First up, it has Garmin Pay for NFC-based contactless payments. It also has music storage on board, and you have support of apps like Spotify, Deezer, and also Amazon Music. You can store up to 650 songs. The one thing I would say is be aware of how much battery this consumes when you are transferring music over Wi-Fi. I did find when I was downloading playlists from Spotify, and it was about a playlist of about 40 songs, it sucked away about 10% of my overall battery, so just be aware of that. The Venu 2 does not have a speaker, so this means that it doesn't have things like you might be interested in terms of smart features like a voice assistant or the ability to take quick calls from your wrist. Also, when you are paired to an iPhone, because this watch works across Android and iOS, you will only be able to see notifications come through from your phone. You will not be able to respond to text messages or notifications. That is only something that you can do on Android, and again, that's a limitation of iOS with any wearable paired to it that's not the Apple Watch, but on Android you do get more functionality. Now, there is also no LTE option, which is a little bit disappointing because it still means you do have to take your phone with you if you do want to be in contact with the outside world, specifically if you wanted to use Garmin's Live Track feature. This is a nice safety feature that can essentially send a beacon to your safety contacts to let them know where you are during an outdoor workout. If you want to do that and use that, you will have to take your phone. Battery life is impressive. Now, the Venu 2 does have a larger capacity battery than the Venu 2S, but even so, I still managed to get 5 full days out of the 2S before I had to charge it, and that took into account doing 2 workouts every day, one GPS-based and one indoor-based workout, as well as sleep tracking, SpO2 tracking at night, and of course, getting notifications from my phone. If you want to use the always on display, then expect battery life to drop significantly. You'll get around 2 to 2.5 days of battery before you need to recharge. Now, Garmin does also claim that the Smartwatch standby mode that you can put this in will net you up to 10 days of use on the 2S and 11 days on the Venu 2. So all in all, I was really impressed with the Venu 2. I think it has excellent health and fitness